Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I am going to be continuing on with Carl Rogers on Becoming a Person. Yesterday, we ended at the bottom of page 78 after the transcripted dialogue of between the client and the therapist. And so we're going to continue on from there. And through perhaps to the end of this section, which is the bottom of page 78. So there's going to be more dual role play in this one, where I'm going to be playing both the client and the therapist in this reading. So this is the continuation from yesterday. This excerpt indicates very clearly the letting of material come into awareness without any attempt to own it as part of the self, or to relate to it to other material held in consciousness. It is, to put it as accurately as possible, an awareness of a wide range of experiences with, at the moment, no thought of their relation to self. Later, it may be recognized that what was being expressed may all become part of the self. Thus, the heading of this section has been termed the experiencing of the potential self. The fact that this is a new and unusual form of experience is expressed in a verbally confused but emotionally clear portion of the sixth interview. And Tom is coming by to say hi. So, it starts off with the client, so I'm going to start off as the client. I caught myself thinking that during these sessions, I've been sort of singing a song. Now the sound that sounds vague, and not actually singing, sort of a song without any music, probably a kind of poem coming out. And I like the idea. I mean, it's just sort of come to me without anything built out of it, of anything. And in following that, it came this other kind of feeling. Well, I found myself sort of asking myself, is that the shape is that the shape that cases take? Is it possible that I'm just verbalizing and at times kind of becoming intoxicated with my own verbalizations? And then following this came, I just am I taking up your time? And then a doubt. Then something else occurred to me. From whence it came, I don't know. No actual logical kind of sequence to the thinking. The thought just struck me. We're doing bits. We're not overwhelmed or doubtful or showing concern or any great interest when blind people learn to read with their fingers. Braille, I don't know. It just may be sort of this, it's all mixed up. It may be that something that I'm just experiencing now. Therapist. Let's see if I can get some of that. The sequence of feelings. First, sort of as though and I gather that first one is a fairly positive feeling, as though maybe you're kind of creating a poem here. A song without music, somehow, but something that might be quite creative. And then the feeling of a lot of skepticism about that. Maybe I'm just saying words, just being carried off by words that I speak, and maybe it's all a lot of baloney, really. And then a feeling that perhaps you're almost learning a new type of experiencing, which would be just as radically new as for a blind person trying to make sense of what he feels with his fingertips. Clients. And sometimes I think to myself, well, maybe we could go into this particular incident or that particular incident. And then somehow when I come here, there is that doesn't hold true. It seems false. And then there's just seems to be this flow of words which somehow aren't forced, and then occasionally this doubt creeps in. Well, it sort of takes form of maybe you're just making music. Perhaps that's why I'm doubtful today of this whole thing, because it's something that's not forced. And really, I'm feeling that what I should do is sort of systematize the thing. Ought to work harder and sort of deep questioning as to what I'm doing with a self that isn't pushing to get things done or solved. Client. And yet, the fact that I really like this other kind of thing, this, I don't know, call it poignant feeling. I mean, I felt things that I never felt before. I like that too. Maybe that's just a way to do it. I don't know today. Here is the shift which seems almost invariably to occur in therapy, which has any depth. It may be represented schematically as the client's feelings that I came here to solve problems and now I find myself just experiencing myself. And as with this client, this shift is usually accompanied by the intellectual formulation that it is wrong, and by an emotional appreciation of the fact that it feels good. We may conclude this section saying that one of the fundamental directions taken by the process of therapy is the free experiencing of actual sensory and visceral reactions of the organism without too much of an attempt to relate these experiences to the self. This is usually accompanied by the conviction that this material does not belong to and cannot be organized into the self. This end point of this process is that the client discovers that he can be his experience with all of its variety and surface contradiction, that he can formulate himself out of his experience instead of trying to impose a formulation of self upon his experience, denying to awareness those elements which do not fit. So we're going to end here for today. Tomorrow we're going to start off with the full experience of an effectual relationship, and continue that. That also is going to have some dual role play in it, and we will continue that perhaps through the end of this section, so it might be a little bit longer of a read tomorrow, which will be the bottom of page 80 to the very, very top of page 84. So thank you again all for being here with me today, and I look forward to reading for you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day.